are you today? I hope you're having a good week so far and you slept well last night and you got up this morning and you did some stretches and maybe you did some hopping around, maybe you did some wiggling around, and then you brushed your hair and washed your face and brushed your teeth and got some clothes on and you're here for our lesson. So let's say hello from my heart to your heart. I hope you have your hearts and I hope they are as big as ever. I miss you. And to all my friends connected through our lessons and our learning, hello. And let's start, of course, with our date. So what month are we in? Who remembers? We are in the month of May, yeah. And today we always have our lessons on Wednesday. So today is Wednesday, May 20th. There we go. Wednesday, May 20th. And here it is pretty sunny, but it did rain last night and a little bit like this morning, but then it stopped. So in my book I put May 20th and it did a little bit of rain. And in my jar, you can just see there's a little bit of water. There's not enough for me to record. It's less than a centimeter. But yeah, there's a little bit of precipitation. So maybe it's the same weather in where you are in Ottawa, or maybe not, but it's okay if there's rain because at least it's not snow, and we know that it's good because it helps our gardens grow and our grass turn green, and hopefully you're seeing lots of different signs of, what season are we in? Yes, spring. So I hope you're seeing lots of signs of spring outside. We talked about our honeybees, and we talked about butterflies, we talked about frogs, all sorts of things. So hopefully when you've gone for your nature walks, maybe you've seen some of those things happening. Sloan and I saw a honeybee just the other day. We were walking and they were near the flowers on the side of the road, so that was cool, and we looked at them from a distance. We didn't touch them, but it was nice to see. And we've also seen tons of birds, so if you are collecting birds in your bird book and drawing pictures of them and maybe writing down stuff you see about them, I'm sure it's getting very full. We've seen lots of blue jays and robins, and even there's a huge raven that comes here, and it is really big. It's like the size of a chicken, even bigger actually, and it flies down. So yeah, lots of cool birds to see. And yeah, let's get started. So we'll do a little bit of French first, and then we'll get into our lessons. And hopefully you're doing French with Madame Debbie. So, but this, we'll just say how we're feeling in French today. And yeah, so we go, aujourd'hui, ça va bien. Aujourd'hui, ça va bien. Aujourd'hui, ça va comme ci, comme ça. Aujourd'hui, ça va fantastique. Oui, mes amis. So I'm going to prompt you now, and then I want you to finish the sentence, okay? So we'll go, aujourd'hui, ça va bien ou fantastique? Bravo! Good job. Maybe you can hear Sloan a bit. She's very excited this morning. So yeah, hopefully you can hear me over her. Okay, so this week we're looking at oceans a little bit. We're talking about the ocean, and we're also talking about sea turtles because I wanted to choose an animal that is with the ocean. And in the class, a lot of you have done the fish and parts of the fish, and then we've also done. We also have a puzzle of the turtles, so I thought we could look at that, and it's kind of interesting. Okay, so first of all, for the oceans, you guys have done this before, the map of the continents, and then on the map of the continents, it's written the oceans. So we have the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Southern Ocean, and the Arctic Ocean. Okay, so if you want, you could just color one of these again, and then just color the oceans, and then color the land parts green and brown, or you can just look back at your map of continents that you did before, whatever you want to do with that. And then another cool thing is this little activity that I'll send to you, and I just have printed kind of the small version, but you can also do the bigger one at home, and it's talking about the zones of the ocean, okay? So when we have, so the ocean basically has three main zones. There's the sunlit zone, the twilight zone, and the midnight zone, okay? So I'm gonna read a little bit about each, and then we'll look at some of the animals or some of the ocean animals that go with those zones. So the sunlight zone is from 0 to 600 feet deep and it receives the most light. So it's the smallest of zones of the ocean, but 90% of the ocean life lives here. So most of the things, most of the animals that live in the ocean live in the sunlit zone. And this is just a small picture, but you guys can have it bigger at your house. And here you can see some of the animals that live in that zone. So we have our sea turtle and seals and a stingray, a crab, a shark. Okay, so that's all different things that belong in the sunlit zone. Now the twilight zone is 600 to 300 feet, and it's enough light to see during the day, but not enough for photosynthesis. So there's not enough light that can happen for new plants to grow. Animals are adapted to near darkness and cold water temperatures. So because there's not a lot of sunlight, it's quite cold, but there's still a little bit. So these are some of the animals that exist in the twilight zone. So it's still very deep, over 600 feet deep, and they just get a little bit of sunlight. Okay, so you can see a pufferfish and some eels, jellyfish, swordfish. There we go. Okay, and then the midnight zone, which is the biggest zone of the ocean, is 3,000 feet deep to the ocean floor, so as deep as you can go, and the water is near freezing, high pressure, and creatures live in complete darkness close to like the freezing water, so it's very cold. And here are some of the animals that live, some of the fish species and different things that live near the ocean floor. Okay, so I will send this to you and you can explore it in more detail. The pictures are bigger, so you can even print it out and do a big matching game. But I just wanted to talk about it a little bit and share it with you and think about the different zones of the ocean. Okay, so we're going to look at the sea turtle that lives in the sunlit zone of the ocean. And here is a picture of the sea turtle that I printed, and of course you can color it, and then even you can color it and you could cut it out and you could put it in kind of an ocean zone. And I just wanted to show you this picture here. So this is a picture of all of these baby sea turtles. And the baby sea turtles have to fend for themselves after they're born. There's safety numbers and they all hatch at the same time, and then they all have to make their way from where they're hatched way up in tall grasses into the ocean. And his little thing here says, I've got to get to sea, I've got to get to sea. The mother turtle is long gone by the time these turtles hatch. They seem to know that they have to make it to the waves and fast. And so, yeah, they're all making their way, and I just thought they were so cute, the little sea turtles getting to the ocean. And then here we have the parts of the sea turtle as well, so you can look at that. And it talks about the eye and the beak and the how they use their front flippers to swim and their rear flippers to stabilize. And yeah, so if you want to look at that, I think that would be fun. And we'll do a little sea turtle craft at the end of the lesson. And yeah, okay, so let's go into our sounds today. So the two sounds that we're going to look at are the sound, do you know the sound? What sound is it? It's the sound k. So this is the big k. So we have our little k, and then we have our big k. And sometimes we call this the kicking k because it looks like it's kicking with this kind of front part, okay? And I know that this k is a little bit difficult to do in cursive. sometimes. It takes a lot of practice, but just go slow and you can trace it big first and then practice, 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 and it will get easier. And then the other sound we're looking at is the sound for up and umbrella, so up. Okay, so let's start by looking at some pictures that go with the sound k. So what do I have? I have, what are those? What's that? It's one cut in half. It's a kiwi. So the kiwi goes with k, and I guess we'll do both at the same time. And then here I have, oh, it's a little silly, but it's because it's hard to find words that start with the sound. So this is a pair of underwear, and it's underwear. So it goes here with our sound. Okay. Then I have, what's this a picture of? A key. Yeah, a key. And I have here a beautiful umbrella. So it goes here with the umbrella. And here I have a kettle. Yeah. So should it go with the sound? No. Or with the k sound? Kettle. And then I have here a girl, and she looks upset. Yeah, she looks a little upset. Oh no. So we'll put her here with the upset. I think that's all we'll do. We'll just do 3 for each. So we have k and we have All right. So let's, we'll just do a quick game of knock, knock, knock. So we'll mix them up, mixing them up. And I'm going to go knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Who's there? What sound is it? It's the sound k. Yeah, kind. Awesome. Okay, and then who's here? What sound is here? It's the sound up. There we go. So I hope you have fun with those sounds. And maybe you can find things in your house that go with each sound. We've played so many different sound games, so you can always keep playing sound games. And then also what I wanted to do today was just a little exercise with writing. So I'm going to use a marker so you can see the best. So for the grown-ups, what you can do is, so what you can do, and this would just be starting to, as you do more cursive and as you practice your sounds more and more, would be that with your grown-up, they can just say a sound and then you can just try writing it on paper, okay? So I know it doesn't sound that complicated, but who knows, maybe it is a little bit. And you always, if you had a chalkboard, you could do a chalkboard or a whiteboard too. So if you give me the sound okay, so then I would take my pencil and I would think about how I can do an on my paper. And I don't really have to worry about doing it on lines or any which way. I can just try to do it all over the paper. Then you can give me another sound to do. What sound did you say? Did you say t? Okay, so let me think. How do I do a t? There, that's how I do a t. Okay? So that's sort of a fun game that you can do with your grown-ups. They can say a sound and then you can try to write it. Another thing that you can do if you're still getting ready to do your cursive is that they can just tell you to do different types of lines, which is really good for your hand as well and practicing writing. So a thing that they could say is, please do a straight line going down. Okay, so a straight line going down, there. I did a straight line going down. Then they could say, do a squiggly line going up. Okay, so I'm going to do a squiggly line going up. And there. So I'm just working my hand in different ways and practicing writing. And it's different than tracing because my brain now has to think about what I'm doing and how I'm going to do it on the paper. So if you're not ready just to write sounds that you're being told, One thing to do is to do different lines. Also, you could say to me, okay, draw a circle. I'm like, okay, so I can draw a circle. There. So my brain had to think about what a circle looks like, and then I drew the circle. Okay, so that's just a fun thing to do with your writing and your language, and to continue practicing with your sounds and all that good stuff. All right. So for our numbers today, we're working our way up. So I just wanted to bring out actually first the addition sign and our equal sign. So with anything, again, I just have my acorn counters in here. I'm actually going to take them all out. I just kept them in here because I didn't want to get them lost. Okay. So with this, you could have any type of question that a grown-up could write for you. Again, so just like we were just doing with the writing. So you could write the question or they could write the question. So a question could be looking like this. Could be 3 plus 4 equals. Okay, so they could give you a question on a piece of paper, and then you could take your big addition sign, and your big equal sign, and you could count 3. 1, 2, 3, and then it was plus 4, so then I need 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then what it gives me all together. So just like we did the other day, when we're adding things together, we then take both quantities and we push them together over here at the end, and we count what it gives us. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3 plus 4 gives me 7, and then on my paper, I could write my answer is 7, or I could just tell them the answer is 7. It doesn't always have to be written down. Okay, so you can also do addition questions without doing a paper part, without writing your numbers down, and then just do it with the counting and adding together. Okay, so I think both ways are still so good for your brain, and they help you practice counting and practice just starting to understand how numbers go together in addition. All right, so numbers that we've been doing, we've been working on our teen numbers. So we did this number. So let me hold it up and you tell me what number it is. It's number 11. And then we did number 12. Good. And then we did number 1 and a 3 is 13. Good. And then today we're adding in number 1 and 4 is 14. Good. So now we have 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so the game that we've been doing has been doing clapping our hands with our numbers, and that's a fun thing to do. Also, we could do is with counters. It's just a lot of counters for our short lesson, so I didn't want to do that in the lesson, but of course you could always count underneath. So let's just choose one. We'll show you. So let's choose 14 because that's our new one today. So if you were doing counters, you could just have 14, and then you would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. There we go. So there's my 14 acorn tops counted underneath 14. And then what you could do is you could just count them for each number or whatever you want. Another fun game, of course, is to play our knock, knock, knock. So I thought we could do that today. And with your 14 numbers, you could do that at home, and then you could write them out. Oh, lots of fun. So let's play that game today. So I'm going to mix them up. Oh, one has a little bit of a sound on the back. That's okay. Must have been a sound card I didn't use. Okay. So I'm going to mix them up. And I'm going to knock, knock, knock. So where should I go first? What door should I go first? I'm going to go to this door. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Who's at the door? Oh, it's number 11. Good. Did you say 11? Awesome. Okay. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Ooh, okay, the number that we just did now today is a 1 and a 4 is number 14. Awesome. Knock, knock. Who's there? Oh, let's see. I wonder if you guys know. Do you remember? It's number 12. Yeah, 1 and a 2. And then knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Number 13. Great. And then we can put them in order. So it was 11, 12, 13, 14. Awesome. All right, so I hope you have fun with those numbers and a little bit of addition practicing. And if you ever want me to send you addition questions, just let me know and I'll be happy to do that. All right. So for our little activity today, I wanted to do a sea turtle because we were talking about sea turtles and I found this idea and it was really cool. So this year I just took popsicle sticks and I colored them green. So I just took my green marker and I colored them green, and then maybe a grown-up can help you. On one end I put a smiley face, there you can see him, and I put some claws on the other ones, and then you just take a piece of yarn or string, it can be any color, and you weave it in between the popsicle sticks. So let me see if I can show you a bit better. So you just weave it in between. So maybe your grown-ups can help you get it started. And then as you get going, you just weave it in between the popsicle sticks and it ends up holding your turtle together and it looks like a shell. And you could even do more than one color. You could do it all different. There's yarn that's like multicolored you could do. And then you have a cool turtle, a sea turtle, or just even any type of turtle to play with, right? And then you have a turtle. So I thought that was a fun thing to do. Okay, and for our little turtle finger play, this is one we've done before in the class. So it goes like this. I have a little turtle, he lives in a box. He swims in the water. He climbs on the rocks. He snapped at a mosquito. He snapped at a flea. He snapped at a fish. He snapped at me. He caught the mosquito. He caught the flea. He caught the fish, but he didn't catch me. No. There you go. So I hope you remember that one and you like doing it. And we'll do it again in our story video. Okay, and then for today's activity, it's something that we all love to do in class, and it's whisking. So I have 2 whisks, and I'm just going to put out my towel here. There we go. Okay, so for whisking, making bubbles is really what we call it in class. We often call it in class. So I have a few options. So basically, I had a big whisk in my house, and I had a small whisk. So if you only have a big whisk, then you would want to use a big bowl with a big whisk and put your soap into the big bowl and whisk it around and make the bubbles in a big way, okay? But for this lesson, I'm just going to show you in the small bowl. All right, so just like we do in class, we have our soap, our whisk, our bowl, and some warm water, or warm to hottish water, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put some soap in your dish, and just 1 pump of soap is enough, and I know it's foamy soap, but it doesn't matter. It can be any type of soap. Dish soap usually works really well because it makes a lot of bubbles, but it can be any type of soap. So there's my soap, and then I'm going to practice pouring again and add my warm water, and then with my whisk, I'm going to steady my bowl, and I'm going to work it around and make bubbles. There we go. Okay, so mine is not making, okay bubbles. It's definitely frothing up. I don't know if you can see, but I wish I had used dish soap because I think I'd have bigger bubbles, but there you can see. Oh, I spilled some. So yeah, so whisking like that, and you of course can whisk Another fun thing to do is to put a little bit of food coloring in it, and maybe even put two colors. So if you drop in one red and one blue, and then you whisk it together and see what color you're going to get. Yeah, but so practicing using your whisk and your pouring and making bubbles, and please put a towel down so it doesn't get all messy. And if you only have big ones, that's good too, because we're using our hand muscles and our arm muscles, and our eyes are looking, and it's good for us to practice and use those parts of our body. Okay, so I hope you enjoy, and we'll say goodbye, and then there'll be another video with a story, and yeah, okay. All right, so bye, my friends. I hope you enjoyed our lesson. From my heart to your heart, I'll see you next week. And to all my friends with the rainbow, keep on learning. Okay, bye, love you.